What?
I miss Craig.
Me too. Did he die?
He's like going under maintenance at the moment.
Poor Craig.
He's a good guy. All
Love
you
me that Craig.
all you fucking heisters out there charging ridiculous amounts of money for these simple podcast apps. Craig's free and he's a fucking bro. Let it be known. Craig is a good guy.
Some of these models are stupid expensive.
Oh, I'm like a Genshin character, I think. I
I'm
learned
just like looking through them like,
I learned Genshin was like it's in like a fucking shared universe with these other games, and I was very confused. Like the Mio verse or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
was that intentional or was this like,
Oh, I have no idea. I was looking at a game on I think it was no, it was Epic Game Store. It was a new game coming out. I was like, a new RPG for, playing cool shit. And it looked all right. I was like, what is this? And then I found there was a free to play MMO under the same people who made Genshin Impact. And it's in a shared universe. I probably just pull up what that game was called. But
people fucking love that game.
yeah, yeah, they do. They like their paid waifus.
If you could talk about like a game that we were all making fun of 5 years ago and tell me that it was still going to be doing relatively well, I'd been like, you're full of shit.
I don't know. It's like a free to play game that works on your PlayStation and your phone and your computer. I can see the appeal. I just think the game's kind of boring and it has a lot of gotcha mechanics. I don't touch that shit.
You like loot boxes?
Yeah, loot boxes on progression. Like you need specific characters. Like you need a fire character to get through the ice section.
I saw that. I was like, that's really funny
Yeah,
and shitty.
it's very shitty. I'm trying to see what that game was called. I don't see it on first glance. I don't know. Spent 40 minutes looking for it, but
I'm gonna play the Final Fantasy rhythm game tonight at some point. Stoked about that.
yeah, still. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
And I also saw for us, the reason we're here tonight is we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct.
Hey, hey, buddy.
Oh, are you doing the intro? I thought I could just fucking force my
Hey.
way back in a little bit, trying to get used to it.
Hello and welcome to episode 42 of Digital Deliberations. It's going to be a pretty light episode, so I decided that we should just run through the direct that showed last week. Today is Thursday, the
Yeah,
16th, a little later than usual, so I figured I'd just save
33
news.
minutes in.
Yeah, I'll just do some news stories and all that stuff on Saturday's usual podcast, so I don't blow them all here and then have nothing to work with. So, a direct happened and something to talk about. Nothing too elaborate. Uh,
Thursday's also one of those weird days that by the time we wake up tomorrow, there's gonna be like Thursdays recently have been some weird shit have been dropping. It used to be like Tuesdays, but I find that like somewhere between like fucking Thursday through like Saturday, you can get some like cool shit because it used to be like no one was around, but now there's like a con going like every weekend somewhere. So it's just like, did you hear that Dave from fucking No Soft just became a giant asshole? You're like, what? Not Dave.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Weekends, because that was when like if I remember correctly, it was like fucking a Friday that the Inside Sega scoop dropped, also where the insider trading stuff like that. It used to be like
Who cares?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Thursdays are usually some nice good news days. That's why we're.
It's the digital age. Everything happens when it happens, and people rush to be the first person to break the news, even though some other site will just say, according to this other site, we got this information, and they'll like link to the original
First.
site, but they still get that SEO click. So
First.
the internet's a fucking nightmare, and AI is gonna make it worse because everything's just gonna be
First.
auto generated. It's like I probably mentioned this before, but when you're looking for something on Google nowadays, it's usually easier to just type in Reddit after what you search for, because then you'll have some actual fucking people writing actual messages. I mean,
Yes.
granted, it's Reddit, and give or take, but it's not like here's 10 things to do if you have a blue screen. Number one, reset your computer. Number two, it's just the most generic fucking bullshit with like 1,000
Oh,
ads on the
dude, I
site.
do it for everything. I'm like, I bet you I can find a streaming site for this if you just type in the keyword or what you're looking for. And it's like NFL streams, boom. MMA streams, boom, and you're just like,
Not funny
and
for
then if you
that.
can't,
Even for those, I use Reddit.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I usually
Yeah.
do like MMA streams Reddit, and then you'll get like a good list of them, and I think it's like even funny when you're like you get like a fucking wall where you're just like, I wonder if I put in best streaming sites for blank Reddit, and you're just like, hey guys, and then like you usually was like you get a pretty good luck just because I've seen it go from where you have like when you used to go try to do a Google search or something like for that bullshit, it would be like a dead link for something from like 2012, and it's like no, there's a lot of people still actively looking for this shit. So it's so crazy that that's the only good thing for Reddit in 2023.
It's like if you want to find something like a like what's a decent app to use for my dashboard Android machine in my fucking car, and it's always those stupid sites that are like some Indian dude made them. They always have like that same grammatical error where it's like worded very specifically, like you were talking to an Indian tech support dude. Like they're reading off a
Like
script. It's always like that, and it's like the same 5 apps are just the 5 top apps you just search for a car dashboard on the Play Store. It's not curated at all. It's just them like pulling the top things and just pasting them in there. It's like, oh, you want a car dash or auto dash or something. There's no like user feedback. Like I use this and it was good because of these reasons, and I would use it with this to make it work. It's just like it's like the back of the box text, and that's the description of the program. And
the
those
same thing with like
sites are terrible.
it used to be easy to find out like if there was a game that was down like that or a forum or something like that, but now it's almost easier just to go to Reddit and see if there's 15 other people fucking just flipping out about it. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, waiting for the patch.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of Reddit. I find the community pretty shitty. Almost all the
Yeah,
subreddits, especially those all the ones that are like the top trending ones. That's like video games or whatever, and it's just people taking pictures of fucking like Super Mario Bros. 3 cartridges just in their
I got kicked
dusty
out
ass
of
fucking room. It's like, look at this gem I found under my bed. It's like, fuck you, bro. Do we copies of Mario 3 there are? That's not special. Just say, hey guys, I played Mario 3 and it was a pretty good game. I don't need a fucking photo.
the weed people in that were the most douchey out of all of them, and I thought that was kind of funny because it was like I posted something that I thought was kind of funny, and then my I got like just flamed, just fucking flamed. Lost all my karma. And they're like, you can't post here anymore. I'm like, you guys are douchey. This guy was just, and I remember exactly what it was. This kid was just like, got kicked out of my parents' house. Can't smoke weed there anymore. Lighten up one more time. And he was like 25 or something like that. I'm like, that's called moving. And I just got fucking flamed.
It's pretty good.
Like, you don't know his scenario.
Hey man, you don't know a scenario. You know what's going on in that guy's life.
I was like, wow, you guys aren't chill at all.
Ah, yeah. So here I am reporting again on the same street as last time. It's a little snack shop over here I like to go to. Good stuff. It's
I am
currently the 16th of February. Uh, you know, I got Brett to use the program instead of trying to fuck with that other one and not have his cat animate anymore.
and I am in a cave because I haven't left my house since December.
I mean, you're not missing much. Nothing really
No,
out here.
it's pretty accurate though. I think I've probably left the house probably 5 times the entire month of from December now. Maybe
Ah,
six.
I've had to go to
Give or
the
take.
office, the actual office, multiple times this week, as opposed to going there maybe 2 or 3 times tops in the previous 5 months working there. It's just when somebody in tech support you're talking to says they can handle it and you can go, they can't handle it and you shouldn't go. Otherwise, you're just going right back the next day.
I'm not exactly sure where my office is.
I don't know.
I'm remote, so like
I mean, I'm remote. I don't have hand tracking, but I'm doing quotations here.
I'm trying to do the same thing, but it's making my character look like he's having a stroke.
This program does do hands. It's like experimental, but you can get like these gloves you can put on and it'll like track the glove movement, which is kind of funny. I mean, I'll see how much those cost. It seems ridiculous and I kind
uh,
of want to do it.
I kind of do now that you said it.
Yeah.
That was
Mm.
so silly.
Yeah.
Everyone's all over the country for my team. It's like I have 2 people in like 3 people in Boston, 1 person in Missouri, another person in New York. Like I don't think any of us in trying to get us all into a same meeting. It's just like 1 o'clock. What time? Central, Pacific? What are we doing?
Gotta use the beats, whatever that time measurement is.
Oh
Swatch
yeah, it's
swatch beats.
I was so dumb one day though because I was like, oh, I'll just schedule it for like 3 o'clock our time, and I was like, oh god damn it, that's 6 p.m. my time. Why did I do that?
Funny thing is, my office from my current place is across the street from the Watertown Athena building. You know, your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, old Zelda Tears of Kingdom Switch confirmed. What? There's a themed edition?
Of what, the
Oh,
Switch? The hardware?
no, the game. It's just like the collector's edition of Zelda's just got announced
Yeah, I
like
guess we should
two
just
days
get.
ago.
We're just gonna do a dive into the direct, see what we feel
Yeah,
about it and
let's
all
do it.
stuff. But yeah, the Legend of Zelda Tears of Kingdom was, I believe, the final thing they showed on the direct. It looks exactly like the previous one, but Link has a ghost hand, and there's a lot of sky elements to it, and he has everybody's been referring to it as the Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts cars, but he just it was so fucking stupid looking. But he made this car, and it was a big flat board, and it was kind of surfing on it, and it was ridiculous looking. It actually made me want the game less because it looks so fucking stupid. I bet it's gonna
What
be
does
Breath of the Wild
Switch
again.
though?
It's also going to be $70, which is an interesting thing for Nintendo to do, considering they're using an old game that was originally a Wii U game, mind you. They're using the basis of that. They're using, from my understanding, the exact same map from Breath of the Wild, and they're just making like a sky layer to it where you can
Oh,
fly it.
really?
And the Switch is a fucking 6-year-old system now, and I'm fucking shocked. I was when I heard the rumors, because what they did was they canceled everybody's pre-order. I mean, Nintendo never took them officially, but all the retailers were canceling everybody's pre-order for the $60 version of the game. So I was making me think that if they're gonna raise it to $70, they're probably gonna show new hardware, right? That's the logical conclusion to that, because the PS5 is doing it, and
Yeah.
PS5 games are 70, and the same game that's on the PS4 will be 60. And this is Sony doing it, greedy ass Sony. So logically, it made sense that to be releasing new hardware to justify the $70 price point, but they're not. They just
No, they released the old. That was the thing that we all fucking knew though when they released the OLED version. The only thing I'm seeing right now is they're releasing a Zelda version of it. But I'm
yeah,
like,
that's just
but it
hardware.
doesn't come with
That's
the
the actual
game.
console. Yeah, of course not. I'm not interested in buying another Switch. I don't even use the ones I have.
Uh, Waiting for mine to break.
I'm never, unless I have to. Like, I use Splatoon 3 online, so I'll play my Splatoon 3 on my Switch, but I'm not going to use it for anything else. It's shitty
Looks is
hardware.
pretty of it. Yeah,
Shitty,
it really is.
shitty hardware with shitty controllers.
Who knew I'd miss my Wii U?
Well, you had a fucking rad ass controller. I love that fucking classic, the Pro Classic.
The Pro Classic was sick. It felt great. The little handheld system was really fun once in a while because you could watch like TV. It couldn't go as far as you'd want to, but like I honestly enjoyed the Wii U more than I fucking like my Switch.
Yeah, at least it did something.
Yeah, and something good
That Pro
because
controller on the
the
Wii
Switch
U,
did something.
that battery never fucking died. Lasted forever.
Let's talk about the Pro controller as a professional Tetris
You
player
talking about
who
the
takes.
Switch controller? Yeah, the Switch Pro
Oh
controller is
my
terrible.
god, dude! As a person who is ranked fucking top 2 to 300 in the fucking world in Tetris,
Whoa! I didn't know the king was showing up.
dude, I'll drop some fucking shit, but yeah, that controller was terrible. I play still 12 hours of Tetris a week, where I'm like just running, trying to get up there. Right now, I'm somewhere between 150th, 200 in the world on
To
Tetris for the.
to be more specific, the Pro controller that I have a launch day Pro controller, and I have a later revision that they fixed, but it had a massive problem. I say had, it still has it. It has a lot of D-pad bleed, so you'll hit right, but it'll
Exactly.
also hit up or down. You can't just get a clear right. It was a known issue with the controller, so they tried to revise it with a little piece of plastic on the inside. That they may have done something to the PCB as well, but it still happened. It didn't fix it. And I have I bought a AliExpress bootleg clone controller. It's the same shell and everything. It's a replica of a controller, clearly bootleg though, and it has a less problem Like the problem is not existent on my bootleg one, as opposed to my official Nintendo one. It's crazy.
Playing Tetris 99 was a nightmare with that, and I ended up just using the weird. It became to the point that when I was playing Tetris 99, when I was playing that game, I used the thing where you take the Joy Cons out and you put it into the hand controller because it was
Yeah,
just
fuck that
that was the
controller
way to
too.
play that game. Yeah, fuck that controller. Makes me want to play Tetris 99 though.
Right when that those shells came out where you can replace your Joy-Con shell with a actual D-pad, I got that like immediately. It made things way better.
Let's run Zelda anyway. I'm not like I liked um the last one, but I'm not like that fucking amped for it since it's just gonna like I want just a more Zelda-ass Zelda game and like the running around parts were it, but I just want like a dungeon where I'm collecting boss keys and there's a boss at the end of it and shit like that. It like this is gonna make me feel disgusting and you can punch me in the face when I say it later, but it made me love the open world but wanted Ocarina of Time dungeons.
Ocarina of Time dungeons. Never will take Twilight Princess dungeons.
Something like that. Anything from the 3D dungeons that weren't that. Like, oh, cool, another puzzle. Oh, cool, another puzzle. Oh, there's two guys to kill. Oh, cool, another puzzle. It's like repeat fucking 800 times.
Yeah, I've been saying pretty much since the game came out is I really like Breath of the Wild. I found it fascinating. I really like the design of the game. I hated the breakable weapons. And the shrines were good for what they were. There's like chunk size, like little bite sized little puzzles. You see it, it's like it's like a puzzle room in a traditional game where it
Exactly.
has like one focus and there's 100 and something of them in the game. So you can, there's a lot of variety. Some of them are just kill this monster, but for the most part, they were pretty unique and it was cool. But, I am in the same boat where if they just made it like the original Legend of Zelda NES game where it has Breath of the Wild as the overworld and then you just came
Yep.
across dungeons and things like that, it would have been,
I would have played the shit out of that game more if it was like that. It was like I think I hit the first 15 or 20 dungeons and I lost my save file. I'm like, okay, I saw what I needed. Like I still think like that game still has like one or two moments in it that are probably some of the most fun I've ever fucking had in a video game. Like taking that pot lid and hitting those friggin' laser things and blowing it the fuck up. I've never been more satisfied with countering an attack. And then it was
all the
just like the
Guardians.
highs in
Yeah.
that game are so good. But then it was just like I felt like unless you really, really enjoyed it and wanted to go clear 100% of it, you saw the shrines after like the first 10. You're like,
Eh,
oh, okay. And
they have
if
pretty
you
good
look them,
variety.
they're great, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah, bad taste. It's all right. I heard you're playing
Yeah.
Overwatch again.
Yeah, like the depression's back on that game.
Yeah. Yeah, you should
We'll see how long
You
that
should
lasts.
probably just play Breath of the Wild instead.
It's gonna be 2 days. I think I already have played a total of 7 rounds, and I think I'm already on the way out of it again.
I don't like how you caved. You're gonna get Diablo 4
Or
like a fucking chud.
oh, of course I'm going to. You already know that.
Might as well just beat a woman inside your house while you're, have the time advantage. Save
I already
stuff.
did it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't say that.
You see my avatar? You see those eyes I got going on? Yeah, that's accurate. Son of a bitch.
So
Ah.
we'll play Diablo in
My
June.
point is
And then
Activision's a
we're gonna
shitbag company and you shouldn't buy any of their games.
is before June?
Ah, this fucking chud. He's probably playing Hogwarts too.
No, not yet.
You should just be a trans woman. Just get both in the same packages. Just two hate crimes at once.
Just the same day.
Yeah, you get your Hogwarts, get your Diablo 4, do some hate crimes. Just contribute. You love your Activision J.K. Rowling overlords. Might as well just satisfy them.
Oh,
But you can
Diablo
also,
4
I mean,
might
you're an
be
American man. You want to save some time. You want to get right to the point.
I got my Joe Rogan podcast all set.
Oh man, I can't wait to.
Fucking my Traeger grill.
I don't know that. I don't know that one. What are you talking
Gotta
about?
go to a Capitol. Gonna go
Let's go,
casually,
Brandon.
casually walk past the Capitol building.
Uh, I still want the new King of the Hill to have Hank at the Capitol riots by accident.
Oh, that would be awesome. Or Boomhauer.
I was just
Like
here to
Boomhauer.
fix the propane.
What about Boomdev Dodge? There's a lot of people talking here about. It's just like Boomhauer's just like accidentally thinking it's like a fucking White House tour.
Yeah.
Convinces him it's a White House tour because you know Dale would have been there.
They gave
Dale's an Alex Jones listener.
I swear they gave a date for the Zelda game before, but they gave it again.
Yeah.
It's May 12th.
Yep.
So, yay, I guess. I mean, I'll totally play that game. I'm not going to say I'm
Yeah.
not. It's just that trailer did not make me more excited for it. It's like, I like to go in games pretty fresh as it is. And, like, oh, the new fucking Breath of the Wild game? Yeah, I'm down for that. And they show me more and more. I'm like, I don't know if I needed these details. It's kind of lame.
I
I
think
don't, I
people are
don't
just
want
gonna
to,
ruin it for me between now and then anyway. Something's gonna happen that people are just gonna ruin it for me.
I don't want my Banjo-Kazooie cars. It's not the Zelda that I know and love. That fucking motorcycle was stupid in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that was so dumb. Why'd they do that?
All right, Advance Wars. They're going to finally
Yeah.
release it after having it delayed about a year. I think they're releasing it a year to the date. So it was going to come out last year. The whole Ukrainian-Russian war broke out. Nintendo felt it was not the right time to release a game with a bunch of tanks and stuff on the cover. It makes
And
sense.
and it still is going on anyway. They're just like people have forgotten about the war.
Hey, man, it's not in the headlines anymore. They're
I
talking
thought it
about
was nice of them
fucking.
doing it though, honestly. I thought they could have been douchebags and been like doubled down, but like it's just cartoon graphics because Advance Wars has always been kind of the lighthearted war game, and I thought it was kind of nice that Nintendo was just like, yeah, fuck it. But I'm ready to play it. I'll play Advance Wars. I love Advance Wars.
April 21st on that game. One day after Hitler's birthday. Now, if you want to
Ouch.
celebrate some war, you release a game on Hitler's birthday.
That's
You
because
fucked
it's
up.
a Tuesday, isn't it?
I have no idea. Nintendo kind of releases on Thursday, Fridays.
Yeah, it's April to Friday. So
Yeah.
gotta get your puff passing on a Thursday, yo.
The Tuesday release date thing hasn't been a thing since, like, the PS3 era. Back when I was working at GameStop, we had Tuesday releases. Thank you, Sonic Tuesday. You really broke the mold there.
And then like all of a sudden people started calling out in Japan, and they're like, never again.
No, that was the Dragon Quest thing. They couldn't release Dragon Quest games. I don't know if that. I never actually looked into. That's just one of those things you heard. But
No, it's true. It's honestly they said I went and tried to see if it was like bullshit, but they said Nintendo started doing it from the request of the Japanese government because they said that some of the games were causing such a detrimental shutdown on a Tuesday, Wednesday that they figured they could at least do it a Friday to like maintain minimize the work productive and production loss. It's like legit for productivity because of like how many people were fucking calling out and shit.
I heard
I
Dragon
thought,
Quest was because all the kids would just skip school and buy Dragon
yeah,
Quest. Kind of funny
that
because
game is
Dragon
so
Quest
serious
is.
that even the business people are into it too. It was I'm trying to think what other game
Video games are for children, Brett.
no, they're not.
I don't know. I've never seen anybody over the age of 12 playing Mortal Kombat.
20. I think I just did it. Like I heard another study where it was just like 20% of the toy market right now is just a bunch of old fucking weebs like us.
Hey, man. Just because I bought an Umbreon plush from AliExpress doesn't mean I'm a weeb.
Double income, no kids, man. That's who's buying all these fucking wrestling belts and action figures.
Uh, it's really hard to say I'm not a weeb when I look like this.
Me too.
Yeah.
I also have green hair in real life, so I might as well be a walking anime character.
I've never dyed my hair. It's not a thing I've done. I'm just naturally cool.
Do it all the time. Just going with neon green for a while.
Still want my tattoo sleeve though. I need to get the money. It's gonna be it's gonna be a costly project, but I want to get my arm done. That's my only thing I really have in terms of body changing.
I got a tattoo that the artist didn't tell me it was going to be $600 until I got there, and I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah,
A
well, you live in Maine. You get what you get.
sweet tattoo though.
I've gotten all my tattoos as of so far in Cambridge, but I don't know. I really like this guy over in Denver. He did some crazy good work, but I don't know if I can justify a flight to Denver, staying at a hotel, getting an expensive ass tattoo, and coming back that's a lot of money.
14, 15. I'm looking at 17 tattoos right now that I can count.
Yeah, you get stupid shit though. I like to
Oh,
have
don't fuck you.
you have fucking claptrap and shit. You just fucking random ass
Sure,
shit.
yeah, I do have claptrap.
Yeah.
And the
There's
duck hunt
there's
dog.
people like you who you just get shit and you just say, I want a tattoo and you just get something where people like me, like I plan my things. I'm like, this is something
I
I want.
originally I wanted a leg piece where I had the idea of having Super Meat Boy and a bunch of video game characters going up my knee, making it look like a photo. But that never really came to fruition. So I skipped that idea. And now I'm stuck with a bunch of video game characters on my leg.
I should do the
And
full weeb and just get a full back tattoo.
oh, do it,
Get the dragon or something.
and then start wearing black T-shirts with the fucking flames on them. Bring those shit back.
Yeah. Only if they have Goku in the front. I want one of those silk Goku flame shirts.
I'd say my right leg has a bunch of random shit, but my left leg is like the one that I put a bunch of thought into. It's like Dresden Files and
Yeah,
uh,
you're not a fucking nerd.
Rush tattoo. I
Oh my
covered up my
god.
WoW tattoo. I was proud of that
Yeah. I mean, small
with a
steps.
shy guy.
You mean it
With
was
a shy
just
guy with a knife.
it was an executive beating the shit out of a woman? That's the replacement tattoo. I
It
was
was.
show-
It's
I'm showing Activision for who they really are. It's just Bill
next to Bob.
Cosby.
Instead of Nixon on my ass, it's Bobby Kotick.
Ah, Nixon came up again. Weird.
It's
Bobby
Bobby
Kotick.
Kotick, the Nixon of 2023.
You need to get the Obama change, but have a Kotick.
He also did threaten to take like that Britain was gonna fall if they pulled out of the Microsoft thing. So
The guy like was recorded threatening to murder one of his fucking secretaries, and he's fucking, he's fine, no problems. This guy's all right. Call of Duty. I love my Call of Duty. What an embarrassing business.
oh
Uh,
god, the video game industry in general, it's like now that we have the internet and we can find out how shitty people are, it's taken away the veil.
hey man, Devolver Digital, they're the good ones. I believe in them. Hotline Miami is a good game. Next up we have the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games coming to the Switch Classic online service. I don't know what it's called. The one you play old games on. The Game Boy
They've been rolled
games.
out, yeah.
Yeah, Game Boy games come with your basic, and then if you have the premium one that gives you the N64 and Genesis games, it also gives you Game Boy Advance games, which is where you'd want to be. I can't think of many Game Boy games I actually want to play these days, other than Link's Awakening and Mole Mania. I
And
don't.
you have like a handheld that does the Link's Awakening.
I have, yeah, I have the Mii U Mini, but that does Game Boy Advance too.
No, I was saying that didn't you buy one of those Nintendo clocks?
I
That's
got,
got Link Awakening
yeah,
on it.
the Game and Watch. Is that Link's Awakening on it?
Yeah, it's Link's Awakening and Zelda 2 and Zelda 1.
Okay, because I've only played Zelda 2 on it.
Yeah, it's got Link Awakening and like really good graphics. That thing was a lot better working than that thing was so fucking worth it.
Yeah, I don't even know where mine is, but it's around somewhere. It's a cool little
Mine
thing.
is on my desk next to your. Oh, what did you give me that I bought off you? The
The
8-bit
Retroid.
dough. Yep, Retroid. That's sitting on my desk next to the.
Yeah, I replaced that with the Mii U Mini. I love the Mii U Mini.
He
They,
loves that handheld. He's like, "Can I go play Super Punch Out in the basement?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, you can, little buddy."
why the basement? Does he sit in the corner like it's a fucking one of those horror movies where he's just in the corner in the dark with like
That's where our TV
one
is.
one small light bulb hanging from like one of those old fashioned like chain lights swinging? It's just him
No.
in the corner looking down, playing fucking Super Metroid.
Take that, Super Macho Man.
Gabe, hello, Daddy. And he turns his head slowly to the glow of the systems glowing on his face.
For some reason, he's dressed up like fucking Mask, the clown guy, Mad Clown. Hello, Dad.
Just playing some Super Metroid.
Punch Out.
Whatever.
Put Super in the front of it.
One of them. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, people who want the classic games, I mean, that's good for them, whatever. I don't find the Switch a great system, and I don't want to play any games on it, and I think the whole online service is a fucking ripoff. Embarrassing service they have.
I was talking to a friend who, I was giving him shit about it because I sent him a message on Twitter. I was like, he's like, playing Zelda. I'm like, have you heard of emulation, my friend? He's like, yeah, I own everything. He's like, just it's nice for people who aren't so tech savvy. But I'm like, yeah, fair. I guess it has its purpose.
You buy
For
any of
people.
those Chinese devices, and they'll wink, wink, nudge, nudge, give you an SD card, and it'll have that shit
Yeah,
on there.
pretty much.
There's not much to it, guys.
I
It's
went
really
in
easy.
Target too. Target. There's a few of those on this good shelf in Target. If you really want one.
What are you talking about?
Those little retro handheld Chinese systems. They have one at Target you can legit go buy right now.
Yeah, I saw somebody make a video about that. I don't know if did it have licensed games on it or that you can add the licensed games to it. I couldn't remember the
I think it
actual
has an SD
story.
card and it has some licensed games as much as they get. Like here's Solitude. It's like one of those 200 where like it's 15 unique games and then like 175 or 185 like different variations of it. It's like, oh, this is
Oh, like
Bear Solitaire.
the guy at the mall in the little kiosk with the shady
Yes,
ass Nintendo system. He's gone in like a week.
because he got sued.
Now he just probably just fucking dumped the inventory and ran.
Oh, who the fuck was it? There was like some rapper who did his own system, and it turned out to be like
Soldier
basically
Boy.
a Chinese Soldier Boy. Yeah,
Soldier Boy, he took these systems pretty much fucking a la carte off of AliExpress and slapped his branding on it because I'd rather pay the extra $20 and get it with Soldier Boy's name as a paying opposed to just grabbing it fresh off the fucking AliExpress website. AliExpress is a wonderful website if you guys have never used it. It's a whole bag of just fucking nonsense and joy. I buy shit just to buy shit. I don't even want it. It's like, I don't really need any anime figures, but I'm curious on the quality I get. And you get like things that are pretty much fucking perfect to the actual original item with maybe like a bit of a different paint job or something. To like I got one figure that was 2B. It was one of those Figma figures and her ass was backwards. So it was like her ass was forward, like on the front of her. And it was rather hilarious and the actual quality of the plastic was garbage. It's just you never know what you're gonna get. You don't spend a lot of money though, so it's fun at its own novelty. Like that time I got really high and I ordered that copy of Zelda
yes,
for the
Zelda.
yeah I bought a copy of the only thing it said I'm sure was just because of it was probably for bots detecting copyright Nintendo shit because they always change the things around like everything on the AliExpress they write under Nintendo like Nintendo without the O just so it doesn't get picked up and it'll say like Plumber Bros or something instead of Mario, so they don't use the word Mario. So the image for this it was Minish Cap, and it came in a red shell, and all the sticker said on the image they showed on the website was bold font in Comic Sans, ZELD, white letters, red background, and I thought it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It said Zeld. That's it. So I ordered it, and I was so disappointed when it had the actual Minish Cap sticker on it. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is just Minish Cap. This isn't Zeld.
For Zelda?
I have Minish Cap. I don't need this shit. Fucking, where's my goddamn Zeld? Sons of bitches.
The 300 game thing that I saw online that it does actually have 8 real data aced games: Caveman, Ninja, Burger Time, Karate Champ, Heavy Barrel, Breakthrough, Bad Dude, Side Pocket, and B-Wing. I fucking love me some Side Pocket though.
Yeah, but those data east things are really easy to license. I know that
Yeah.
Evercade has a lot of those, and you can get some other like
Oh
pre-built system that has a
God,
shit ton of data
Evercade.
east. Evercade's such a stupid thing. I don't get it.
I don't either. Especially when they're paying like I wanted one because they made a version of the arcade classic, the wrestling one, Wrestle Zone, the one that was like the WWE Royal Rumble type one, and they made a new version of it, the WrestleCade, and it was like a $400 machine, but you still had to buy the fucking ROM. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! I'll just play on Steam.
PSA, Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. It's not very good. I don't like
No,
it. No.
it has to be like ice cold.
The new Pepsi Max, or I guess they call it Pepsi Zero Sugar now. They released a new version of it. It's actually really good. I'm not the biggest soda connoisseur, but I got some. For some reason, I swear, wherever you went, they always had a deal where it's like you can get one 12-pack of soda, $8, or you buy one and you get two free, so you pay $8, and you get like 3 cases, or up to $15 maybe, but you end up with 3 or 4 cases of soda. But that's just been gone. Maybe things are just different here in Boston. I'm used to the West Coast where that's just the everyday thing. But I saw a deal where it was you get 3 cases of soda for like $8, so I got a bunch of Pepsi Zero Sugar and some Mountain Dew Zero. And I regret the Mountain Dew Zero. I'm not a fan, but the Pepsi, I am. Solid choice. What's that?
Legend of Dragoon's getting added to PS Plus.
Legend of Dragoon isn't a very good game.
No.
That has nothing to do with the direct. Fuck this. This is Saturday talk. All
I'm
right?
sorry. I was looking. It was breaking.
Focus. Fuck. Nobody gives a shit about fucking Legend of
Breaking.
Dragoon. That's why you can buy it new on Amazon for like $10. Nobody gives a fuck.
Fucking breaking news.
They should remake that game because it looks like shit. It came out in like what 2000, 2001. It was like a post Final Fantasy X game. If it was
Mm-hmm.
around the ballpark, and it just looks like shit.
Four
even i-
discs.
even if you high res it, if you run through an emulator, it still looks bad. Like it's just the way they rendered those polygons is just it's a muddy fucking mess. It's one of those games I just have to sit down and finish and play it just because I never have. But I every time I started, I played for a few hours. Like this game fucking sucks.
I made a disc 3, I think.
That's further than I made it, man.
I
I
like the
own
combo
I own
system a
like
little
three
bit. We had
copies of
none of
it
that.
because it's one of those games you just if you get a bundle like you buy a like a local Craigslist purchase or something and it has a
Yeah, it always
PlayStation.
comes with a copy.
It always comes with that fucking game. It has that and like
Yep.
Twisted Metal and Jet Moto. It's like fucking games I have 18 copies of. Resident Evil 2. I'm not
I
complaining
should
about
just go
that
buy
though.
an PS1 with a screen and just have it on my desk.
Why? Why would you do that? You have a fucking Retroid in your fucking hand right now.
Oh yeah, I could do the same thing with it. Oh, that's funny.
I have three computer monitors. I'm looking at three computer monitors right now. Any one of these could be a PlayStation at any time. If it's not complicated. You don't need to buy a fucking PlayStation with their shitty little LCD screens. They have those fucking
But I can go
white bulbs
collect
in the back.
games. Yeah, I know, they're so bad.
Yeah, let me tell you about game
I
collecting
can
in
play DDR.
2023.
I can go play DDR in my friend's house right now.
You could do it in New England Comics in the corner while waiting for Pokemon League to start. I've never done that before.
Never. Nope.
Can't do it in the first floor of the presidential Galleria. Well, everybody makes fun
Yep.
of you for playing DDR in the President's Side Galleria in
Yep.
Quincy Center,
We did some
circa
weird shit back as kids.
2002. Now that I know that, why would I know these things? I don't know.
Yeah, we were definitely getting so much puss back then.
It's just like stealing a laptop case full of yo-yos. You never know what you're gonna get.
Hanging out with a pedophile that you know was a pedophile, but should have probably saw all the signs that they were a pedophile. Yeah.
Yeah, you're bringing the mood down, aren't you, buddy?
No, you're the one who brought the yo-yos up. He was a pedophile.
Nevertheless, I didn't mention any kind of fucking pedophile. I just mentioned the man carried a laptop case full of yo-yos. I mean, there's some signs the guy's a little fucking tilted, you know?
Saying our fucking dangers weren't going off very well in retrospect.
Yeah. Yeah, it just,
We
some people...
traveled to Pokemon tournaments with this guy. Someone let us in his car.
Yeah. I wanna acknowledge that is profoundly fucked up, and I don't know. I'm sure some people's lives are ruined by this man. So
Oh my god! Somehow
I was
our
just
parents were like, yeah, just travel to Milford with this douchebag on a Saturday morning.
yeah, no, I didn't do any of that. You fucking weirdos.
Oh, fuck! Those were the days.
Pokemon cards, decent game.
Really good games.
People surrounding it, maybe do some background checks. Yeah, Game Boy Advance, whatever. Have fun if you like that shit. There's some good games in there.
You know what I'm really excited about from the Nintendo Direct was Sabador, the Sama de Amigo game, just because I liked those games back in the day on Dreamcast when you could play the demo, but they were expensive as fuck to get the maracas. So I'm pretty stoked that they're gonna find a variation of that. If anything, the Switch is good for is rhythm games.
I disagree with you profoundly. The fuck does Nintendo have that? It's a good rhythm game.
Zelda, the Zelda rhythm game, Hyrule, that one, and then we've got the Final Fantasy one that just came out.
That's multi-platform. I'll give you the Hyrule Cadence of Hyrule. I mean that's true. That game's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fine, I guess. I wouldn't call it a fucking stellar music game, but it exists and it's a good use of the property. Something that I didn't ever expect Nintendo to actually do. But I mean, when I think of rhythm games, I'm not thinking of fucking Cadence of Hyrule.
It has Dorado Valley in it.
Yeah, but so doesn't my fucking computer. So
That's true. You make a valid point.
I got the chart on my fucking like my Guitar Hero clone thing. Got Dorado Valley on there. Good
I must say though, the
good game.
Nintendo like commercials, that click noise is still a really fucking nice noise. So,
all right, corporate shill. We got the Metroid Prime remake. I can read sometimes. That was Shadow Drop. They announced it came out right after the direct. I didn't
Fuck
play it.
Metroid, they're not giving the people the original credit. Bleh.
Oh god, these fucking controversies. I can deal with some of them because some are valid, like the whole
Not that one.
Hogwarts thing, Hogwarts Legacy. Don't support anti-trans movements. Fuck that shit. You can justify it whatever way you want. Just don't. You know, it's a fucking wizard game.
Yep.
Get over it. You're not fucking 8 years old. You're all 30. You're all my age. I understand the Harry Potter fan base. You can say no to a fucking wizard video game. The thing about the credits was ridiculous. I mean, okay, this is how I see it. When people brought it up as an actual argument, it was one of those things like, don't buy this game. And they linked to the guy saying, you know, they should have give the credit roll. So in this game, which came out like fucking 12 hours after the fucking game dropped. I don't know how the fuck people beat the game that fast and scoured the goddamn credits. Anyway, it has the credits for the people who worked on the remake projects. And then it says, and all of the developers who worked on Metroid Prime, which is fine. That's fine. This is a new project. They used the original. The original people already got paid, and they already had their credit published. They're using that. Nintendo owns Metroid Prime. It's their game. They can do what the fuck they want with it.
Some of them got awards.
Yeah, they got awards, everything. This is 20 years ago, mind you. 20 years ago. And they got their credit when it said, and thank you to the original staff of the people who made Metroid Prime. You can easily pull that list up of people. And then somebody told me, credits are not for the consumer. So does that mean these people who made the game 20 years ago want a second credit on something that didn't work on? And that's the problem? Because that doesn't make any fucking sense, because they didn't work on this project. It's called Metroid Prime Remastered. It's not called Metroid Prime Fuck These Old People and some other people who ported it. It's a new project. It doesn't make any sense to me. What they could have done, they could have had a roll at the end, because everybody loves watching credits, right? Like me and you, we just love sitting through credits.
We watch them at the end.
Oh yeah, great. I read all those names every time. I read all the fucking names, and I'm like, you know what I need? I need more fucking names. I'm not gonna remember 3 seconds from now, and add another 2 minutes to this fucking roll so I get back to the title screen. So
unless I could shoot the names at the end of the game, I don't give a fuck.
I just played Melee, funny enough, and so. What they could have just added them at the end and said thank you to the original credits and ran those names, but that just really added time to the fucking runtime. Or I've seen some games you go into the options and it says credits and you can select an option that says credits and roll them and they'll show the people there. Which is, they could have done that. I guess it doesn't. Nobody's looking for that. The only people who care are the people who are would be in the credits. But I just don't like the point when somebody's dropped it and said, "Don't buy this game." Like that is like such a hyperbole that I can't handle the internet sometimes, and this is one of those times.
I can't do it anymore. I don't want to. This internet thing is starting to suck.
Starting to. I already went on my rant about fucking search engines earlier.
I'm 38 years old, and every time it's like if you're anywhere between 35 and 38, and if you don't look at that tweet button as you're about to fucking flame somebody. Just think about it. Is it worth it?
You're still using Twitter?
I still do. Yeah, I love my buddy Elon.
Sure, it comes out.
I'm just saying, any forum, anything. It's just why the fuck are we even? It's we're not gonna convince anybody at this point.
You can follow me at superok at content.town. You can follow my Mastodon.
I'm the OCD gamer.
Nobody gives a fuck about your Twitter shill, all right, buddy?
I'm a shrill of a human and I need followers.
Why don't you go mine some fucking emeralds, get your own goddamn source of income, buy yourself a fucking Twitter, and then we can talk, all right?
Then we can go build ourselves an underground train system.
Yes, you build yourself the Hyperloop, you build yourself some spaceships, and go soaring in the sky, you can make some proprietary... Let me tell you about Teslas, all right?
It was, I was talking about Tesla. It's been 5 years since we launched a Tesla into space.
I know, it's been too long. I love my proprietary charging. I like how they can, if you sell the car used, they will remove features remotely, so people have to pay to have the features put back into the car. So they're always there. Let me tell you about consumerism and fucking dystopian nightmares. Because when you buy something and you don't actually own it, and it's locked by a remote, saying you can't have this because you didn't give us money, it's absurd. It's a nightmare. Let me tell you, you can hack Teslas, and you should. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck that shit. That is bullshit.
He's a
Anyway,
douchebag too. Yeah.
oh, he's a giant fucking asshole.
Oh, he's a giant
But
douchebag.
I know you guys. I know you guys made the site. I know you actually program it and run it, but you know what you're talking about, and don't talk back to me because I just say you push a button and everything works, and that's just how it works, right? You hit the fucking work button, right? That's
Right.
it. That's how coding works. You just hit the work button, and then everything just works. There's no
Then
engineering behind it.
fire the engineers and then bring them back after you realize you needed the engineers.
Fuck that moron. Anyway, Pikmin 4. I think that's how the show opened.
Yep, they'll be good.
Yeah,
I like Pikmin.
it's
Dude,
Pikmin. It's designed from the ground up for the Switch, so it's not the port of 3 like we got
good.
originally on the Switch. New game. There's a dog, a small little dog monster. That's fucking rad. I don't know, it looks kind of goofy, but
Adorable. Yeah, I'll play it.
Pikmin's a great game.
I've never played a Pikmin game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're adorable looking. I've watched people play them, but this is gonna be probably one of my first runs into Pikmin, and I'm looking forward to it.
GameCube had a fucking amazing launch. Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Melee.
I remember watching you play Pikmin. It was just never a game that I ever played. It was one of those I'll watch this person play it, and I found it really cool. I like the character and the concept of it. I just never had the benefit of playing myself.
You have plenty of opportunity now. It's on.
Everywhere.
I mean, Pikmin 1 and 2 were both GameCube slash Wii. They brought it to the Wii and added. I'm not sure how the waggle controls factored in, but I know they added that in. And 3 was a Wii U slash Switch game. So I mean, it's around. You can play it. I play the first Pikmin a lot. I like it a lot. I think it still might be my favorite one, even though 3 is probably the most accessible and like ease factor of playing. Good
Did
games.
this come out already? They announced a new Kirby game, Return to Dreamland. Was that another one of the games that just went live also? Or is that
I don't think that's out yet. There's a demo for it,
okay?
but
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah,
it's a port of the Wii release, which was a good Kirby game.
I love those type of
That was the
too.
point where they made that game, and then every Kirby the game that came after it for years just looked like that game again.
But super fucking easy.
All Kirby games are easy. They're not about difficulty. That's not the
Some of
point of
them
them.
were insultingly easy though. Some of them were so fucking insultingly easy. Like I enjoyed the new one, Return to Dreamland, or the new one that just came out, because it
Forgotten
was my
City,
yeah, it was my game of the year.
Forbidden
Um,
City, something like that.
and I just liked it because it was
Forgotten
challenging
World.
enough as an adult,
Hmm.
but not so fucking hard. Like it was fun. That game had like such a good mix.
Kirby's more about the exploration and getting the 100% of collectibles. Like you
Yep,
gotta have the moves and you gotta go to the right place to use. Like, oh, you need the flame guy, but you get him later. So you gotta get the flame guy, backtrack a bit, and then now you can light that fuse and it blows the wall up and you can get that collectible. It's
I
like
love
the
the upgrading characters in that one too.
yeah, that game
That was
was
cool.
that was a great game. But the older ones, even like what was that one? Epic Yarn, I believe it was called,
Yep.
where you couldn't possibly die. Like it was impossible to die. You took a little bit of damage and you fell back a bit, but you just keep going. But the whole appeal of that game was the interesting level design and then in the collectibles to find. So yeah, the ease factor wasn't really a problem. If you're just going from the beginning to end of each level, it's a breeze and you're unstoppable. But if you actually take the time and try to complete all the levels, that's where like the actual game design shines. Sounds like I'm making
My
excuses for it.
my favorite Kirby game was the one on Super All Stars, the one the treasure hunting one. It's
Oh,
still my favorite
absolutely.
game.
That game is fucking great. I still play that
Like I
game.
could play same. It's just one of those games that just still it's like
They're
really just
remaking that again, I believe.
it's good.
They
It's just
ported it.
it's soul food.
They ported it to the Wii as a. I'm pretty sure it was just like the Mario disc, where it was a disc, and all it had on the disc was the Super Nintendo ROM file that played in the Wii emulator. I'm almost positive of how that game worked. And then they made a remake of it on the DS. And I believe they ported are going to port that version of it again to the Switch. So
Fuck it.
that game got around,
Put it
man.
everywhere.
It's got its yeah, it's got
Put it
its
everywhere.
rounds.
Let's just get like anyone listening from Nintendo, make a Kirby handheld clock thing, and I'll buy 8 of them if it has that fucking game on it.
They
You
could
give me
easily do
that
that.
game. You give me the one for the Nintendo.
Adventure, yeah.
And oh, where could
Dream
Dream Course?
Oh, Dreamcast fucking rules, but that game is something else in Japan. I think it was a branding in the US. Or maybe it would start off as a different game, and then there's a version of the game without Kirby.
Because that game is still fun. Because I had when
That
I
game
saw they put that, yeah.
that game caused so many fights with my because my aunt and my uncle used to play games with me when I was young, and it would cause fights all the time. It was crazy. That that game breaks houses apart.
Yeah, it was me, Richard, and Billy Lee. I think almost lost our friendship over a summer because we like that game came out and Super Punch Out came out, and that game had a way to ruin fucking parties.
Because you can intentionally hit other people. So you could be on the
Yep.
hole and miss it by like a fucking millimeter, and you'd be standing in the hole, and somebody just fucking full power
Ruin
blasts
your
you,
day.
knocks you off the course. It's you can do some damage in that game.
Just fucking ruin their day and still. Oh my god, I loved it.
It was that game and Tecmo Bowl. It always fucking
Yep.
it
Oh,
ruined our lives.
me and my cousin Blake, fist fights, fucking Techno Bowl. Anytime whoever got Oakland first, and then at the second that a 14-point lead came out, someone was getting hit with a fucking controller.
Good shit. Good memories of Dick Kirby Dream Course. Highly recommended game.
We're running out of stuff to talk about for this direct that doesn't suck, 'cause I don't want to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles, because fuck that game.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Xenoblade Chronicles. I guess it's all story content. And I guess they had like a 3-part DLC story or something. That game sucked ass. I don't fucking worry about it.
Uh,
Uh,
God, I was looking at the PAX things this year, and one of the things for PAX East is just like Xenogear Chronicle, the reasons that you love the 400 plus hour series. I'm like, bleh.
I'm fucking baffled on how Xenoblade is
I
like
don't
this
know.
massively popular
Xenoblade?
game, but nobody likes Final Fantasy 12. But Final Fantasy 12 was
No.
the better version of that game because it didn't waste your fucking time. Whereas
Yeah.
Xenoblade is all watching cooldowns and like circling things to get advantages on different areas of the body. Like this attack will charge in 45 seconds and you gotta hit him in the back to make it work. And it's like watching paint dry because you auto attack your regular attack, but you have to wait for these fucking cooldowns for the specials, and it is the slowest fucking combat. And I don't understand why anybody likes it. I've tried to play them so many times. The second one's a fucking joke, by the way. It has a bunch of like waifus you collect. Fucked up. Don't fuck that game. I
This
played
game peaks
3.
up at the 80-hour mark. It's
Yeah,
like, suck AD.
I played 1. I played 1 when it was when you played it on Dolphin. You can add that the graphics pack to make the grass all fancy and shit, and it looked really cool. The soundtrack's really nice, but just playing the actual game is a fucking chore. And I just don't get it because there was that Project Rainfall thing. There were 3 games they released. It was Pandora's Tower, it was Xenoblade, and a game called The Last Story, which was a phenomenal game that nobody fucking played. And that it was a Sakaguchi game, Mistwalker.
Oh yeah.
There's another game that did auto attacks, but it did it logically, where it was all real time. You moved in free combat, like an arena. You'd fight your monsters. You just run into them and you swing your sword. So there's no attack button because it does it automatically. But it was fast paced. It was fucking great. And then you could there was a aiming reticle you can pull up to use your bow or have people cast spells. Like, yo, fuck this guy, hit him with lightning bolt, do it now. Guy on the side, pop off the lightning bolt. Fucking great. Last Story, phenomenal game. But fuck, people played Xenoblade, watching paint
What was,
dry.
what was that other one that you could play that was Bravely Default? Bravely Default had a really good battle system too, where you could play all your fucking turns at once. I
Yeah,
thought that was pretty neat.
you can burn
But
future
people were
turns
so.
and yeah.
Oh god, that part was so cool. You're just like, hey, you want to try to fucking floor through this as fast as you can before this boss just is about to beat the shit out of you? Go for it.
But if
Oh,
you didn't, you get free turns of attacks thrown back at you, and
yeah.
good luck to you, buddy. You can use your 2 regular attacks and then charge up 3 more. Then you have 5 attacks used against you. Yeah,
And you're like,
interesting.
oh, by the way, good job at. I hope this works because otherwise you're about to get shit canned.
Yeah, at least at least they did something. They made turn-based combat a little
Yeah,
more interesting. So
better than Xenogears.
Xenogears is a bad game. I think he meant Xenoblade, but
Xenoblade Saga. And fuck them. Any of them. Just get rid of them.
they're all bad
All of them.
games.
Just throw
Xeno,
them in a fucking dumpster and we're
Xenoblade,
good.
Xenosaga, Xenosaga.
God.
My God. Have you played Xenosaga?
No, I stopped after Xenoblade, and then I bought Xenoblade Chronicles for the fucking Switch when it first came out because people were just like, you need to play this game, and I played like 4 hours of it. I'm like, stupid.
Xenosaga was the PS2 games. There was
Oh
3 of
yeah, I
them.
played. Oh, those were awful fucking too.
Yeah, they were. it was watching bad anime. The gameplay,
Oh,
I've legitimately fallen asleep during cutscenes. And I woke up
oh
like,
my
what
god.
was I out for 45 minutes? And it would still be playing a fucking cutscene. Like, what is this? Is this Metal Gear Solid 4? But like the entire game? Like the entire series? What is this? Fucking
I
sucked. The combat
blocked
wasn't even
that
good.
game out of my life, and then like you just freaking like brought me back where I was at an ex-girlfriend's house playing that game, and I'm like wondering why I just did both of those at this. I was like,
Yeah.
gross. Bad game.
Xenogears was a half-finished game. There's a point where that game just stopped being a game. You switch discs, and then it's just the main character sitting on a chair and in this dark room, and it's just him narrating a story, and then I'll go to a segment where it's like, all this shit happened, all that stuff we did didn't fucking matter. Anyway, yeah,
Nope.
we are, and then here we are at this warehouse, and then you'd have a segment where you're playing in a small little map of a warehouse. You do some fucking bullshit, and then it would end that phase and go back to somebody sitting in a chair and telling their story. It was like clearly unfinished. It's like we didn't know what to do. We didn't have the
Yeah,
budget or the time, so we just fucking threw this all together, and the combat
play
sucked.
Wild Arms. Go
Wild
play Wild
Arms,
Arms.
maybe Wild Arms was okay. I mean, the first one's really rough, but the second one forward are all solid
Yeah,
games.
music's great.
Oh yeah, that intro is classic.
So
They
good. Oh,
they
I love
they
that game.
remade the first one on the PS2. That game's pretty good. Alter Code
I'll
F, I
play it
believe it's
again.
called. Yeah.
When I come down, I think I gotta go buy a PS3 controller so I can start playing some shit on my computer.
The only one you really need it for is Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 if you end up playing those, and in the bouncer. I can't think of any other games that use the pressure sensitivity. I'm sure there are, but nothing I can think of. Probably Gran
For
Turismo
some
or
reason, I
something.
want to play the bouncer. Like now that
It's
I know it's not a good game, but I know it's like not a bad game.
eh, it's a game. I'm not gonna call it
Exactly.
good, but for like a I don't think it was a launch title. If it wasn't launch, it was very, very early in the PS2 life. And to its credit, it does call itself an interactive movie.
Yep.
And it's a
Yep.
brawler. There's not that many stages. It is broken up by long cutscenes you can skip. But if you just skip all the cutscenes, you play all the stages, you can get through it in an hour. It's not a long game. But it
That's
gives
why
you
I
a
want to go back
lot.
and play it. Yeah.
You can unlock everybody in that game. Every enemy you fight, every boss, every fucking lackey, you can unlock them and play as them.
That's
So
sick.
it has a lot of too. Like, if you wanted to put time into it, there was some stuff to do. I 100% of that game when it was you guys PS2 was
Oh,
did.
nice. Yeah, I want to play it again.
Yeah, there's only so much to do back then, but I had fun with it. But that game does use pressure sensitivity, so you can do a light touch or a heavy
Oh,
press,
yeah, it did does
and
that. Yep.
it's two
Yep.
move sets. So if you don't have a PS2 or PS3 controller with the pressure sensitive buttons, you can only
The buttons.
do like one of the move sets. But yeah, going back to the direct here, we have they're redoing Button Kados, which was a
Yep.
GameCube series. I
Good.
that game's weird. It's a JRPG, but it has card-based combat, which is where it lost me.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
remember playing it.
it's a Namco game. I'm almost positive, done by the was it Track Ascendo / Wolf Team. So the people who did like the Tales games, and it has like the most fucking Matoe. What the fuck the name's? Blank on his last name. He does the soundtracks for all the Tales games in the Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile. Sakuraba, whatever his name is, Matoe Sakuraba. I'm pretty sure his name is, and it is the most his music game ever. It's like
Yeah.
you listen to it like this is every like there's a point in his career where he was phoning it in, like everything past like Tales of the Abyss forward. You knew he was not given his A game anymore. They were kind of like, oh yeah, I can hear his styling, but there are some games where it's just so fucking him, and this is one of them. And it's this and like Shining in the Darkness, or not Shining in the Darkness, Shining the Abyss, the Saturn one. It's that
Oh yeah.
game and Valkyrie Profile where it's just like those soundtracks hit hard. It's like it's his shit, and like yeah, that music's fucking awesome. I don't know. Maybe I mean I never beat these games. I own them on the GameCube. I tried playing them, and I just the fucking something about cards. You pull cards to a video game, my brain just turns off. It's like why the fuck are there cards when I have a controller with buttons on it? Did you ever play Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories?
Yeah, those are fun.
I want you to reconsider your opinion.
I like card games.
You're broken. But when
Yeah, I
it's
am.
when,
We've gone over this like 8 times.
when it's a turn when it's a real combat, like real time combat, I can't speak. It's fucking 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
When it's real time combat and there's a guy in front of you smacking you with fucking attacks, and you can't hit him back because you don't have any attack cards in your fucking stack. What the fuck is that? That is stupid.
Yeah, that
That
gets
is
annoying.
that is bad game design. It's like, why are there cards here? The only card game I will give credit is Metal Gear Acid. Those games are fun. I like those games.
Midnight Suns, they kind of fixed it a little bit like that because I've never, like, there's such a large amount of attacks in that game, and they have this ability called Quick that if you kill an enemy with it, you get your card playback. And it's like the first card game that I feel like flows and like I can get a decent enough like go like attack in it in like a long enough turn where I don't feel like I'm getting fucked over. And it's like the first one of those interactive games that has like a good flow for it, but then it figures it's not going to be a commercial success. So there we fucking go. I'm not going to get another one like it.
Yeah.
It just no one wanted it at that point. It was like no one knew it was going to be a card game. They put a lot of money into a really cool card game, and everyone it's people had more like I think I saw a review said it the best. People wanted to play as the characters, not fucking direct them where to go. So
But that's what turn-based combat is.
I guess, yeah,
It's a strategy game made by the people who made XCOM.
it's so good. It's
What
so fucking good. But this is a
what were
Saturday
they
conversation.
expecting? I'm curious what people mean by that, because when you buy a game by the XCOM people and it plays like XCOM, I mean, added cards or not,
I think a
what the
lot of
fuck were
people.
they expecting?
I think some people went in without a trailer, like just watching the trailer and thought it was a fucking action game, and I think that's on them. But
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
good game.
Do some research. I mean,
Yes, don't blame. That's what bums me out about it. It was like it's such a good fucking game, but I think it's gonna be one of those IPs that just gets thrown away because it wasn't a commercial success. But
I thought it did well.
it did really well, but it's just not gonna make it like it didn't do well enough. Like they're saying that the reviews were great, but like it went down to fucking 50% like 2 months after it came out.
It happens to all games, though. Need for Speed dropped. Some other stuff did too. A bunch of EA stuff dropped real fast.
I gotta go buy that. I think that's on sale until tonight or tomorrow.
I know, so it was half off. I'm not sure when that was.
Yeah, I think I might have missed it, but either way, it's still will be again soon.
We got Fashion Dreamer coming out, another sequel to the Style Savvy game. Interestingly enough, it's being co-developed by THQ Nordic.
Oh, neat.
I have to throw in my straight guy card here, but I love those games and I played all of them on the
They're
DS
fun.
and the
Really
3DS.
cool.
You make little fashion outfits, and you open a boutique and you sell to people, and it's oddly satisfying.
I
My
like that
sister
type
is
of
super
stuff.
excited about it too, so I'm like, yeah, we'll get that Style Savvy game. She's like, hell yeah, we are. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah. I'm very curious about the THQ Nordic thing. I don't know where that factors in, because those games are Japanese as hell.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of cool that they're. It looks cool.
Yeah. Dead Cells, they've showed more of the Castlevania expansion. It looks good. I mean, we already saw it before. It was on the direct. It's coming to
Yeah,
other things. They're
can't wait.
doing another port of the Capcom game Ghost Trick, which is a spin-off of Phoenix Wright. Or I don't know if spin-off is the right word, but he appears in the game.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, he's just one of the people in it. But I guess it's the extended Phoenix Wright universe. It was a DS game that ported it to the iPads and stuff, but I think it was all lost during that 2017 when they all went to 64-bit and all the old store games were just fucking gone. Can't get those anymore.
Oh, we got a release date for the Castlevania Dead Cells.
What? Released it?
March 6th.
March
Yep.
6th. Oh, that's good. I'm excited for that. So that's less than a month away. Phantom
Great.
Detective is a fun game. I never finished it because I get bored of it, but it's a interesting concept. It's like a 2D side view of a thing. Each level has some kind of puzzle to figure out. Like, oh, this guy's gonna mug this girl, so all you are is like a dead corpse, and you can haunt things around you and manipulate them. So you can like, oh, turn
neat.
this, and the bike moves, and the bike hits a bowling ball. You make a Rube Goldberg machine of just like haunting things, and you solve a puzzle. It's
That's
cool.
really cool.
It's a fun game. It's one of those games I should finish at some point. But that's not a Switch exclusive. It's coming out to everything: Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and all that stuff, which is great. Don't ever leave things locked to a DS or something, especially when it's a good game.
Exactly, because then you want more people to play it.
They're doing another Katamari reroll. They're doing the second game, We Love Katamari, which is one of the better ones. I mean, they're all pretty good in their own right. People didn't like the later ones because they changed the formula where the first game is just roll shit until you're bigger. That's the entirety of the game. Two added things like, hey, we want things that are hot. Only roll up hot things, otherwise your score will go down. Or you roll up a bear and the stage ends. And there will be like a bunch of teddy bears and some fucking guy in a bear costume and all this shit. And you gotta find the big bear. You gotta find the big ass statue on top of the hill. But there's all this shit in the way. And if you accidentally roll up one of these other bears, then the round's over and you get the low score. So it did things like that. It expanded the whole Katamari concept. And it also has the other levels where you just make shit big. I liked what we love a lot. My favorite one is Beautiful Katamari, which is currently locked for 360. You can emulate it. It emulates perfectly fine. That's hopefully not forever locked to 360. But Wii's probably my second or third favorite. That first one's really good. I don't know. They're all pretty good. They're all
Yeah, they
good
are pretty
games.
good. Yep, agreed.
Yeah. It's hard to rank them. Beautiful Top, maybe Tribute as the second one, the PS3
Oh,
game.
just great and fun.
Yeah. The simplicity of the first one's, you can't overlook that. It's a fun ass game. It's also $20 in a game here. Some random ass Japanese PS2 game, $20. Stupid as hell. Great game. It's also where all the, Shibuya K and City Pop artists went after their careers. Were pretty much done. Just popping up random tracks in that game. Great soundtracks. Like the woman singer that was in the later Pizzicato 5 is in a few of the tracks. Shit that means nothing to you, but for
Nope.
nerds like me,
Nerd.
yeah. I like Shibuya K. Fuck off. Splatoon 3 is released an expansion pass that has the first Splatoon levels in it. Brings back Callie, Marie, and all that stuff. Cool, I guess. I don't know.
I like Splatoon. I haven't played any of it since it came out.
I bought that for me and Bree. So, memories of us never playing that game.
Memories, but well, that's all right. That's good. I know plenty of people who like it. I'm
Yeah,
glad there's more Splatoon for them.
sounds good shit.
It is.
Disney Illusion Island is a new 2D uh platforming game that has the current. I say current, but I don't think it's a still going cartoon. But the more recent run of Mickey Mouse cartoons that were like that really
Oh yeah.
distinct, sharp, black and white minimalist style of cartoons they did, which were great. I don't know if you ever watched them. I love those shorts.
Oh, these look cool. Yeah.
It looks like it's for Goofy. It looks like he's like homeless, like fucking bizarre design for Goofy.
That's so cool looking. That's a neat looking art concept for.
Yeah, so they got that coming
Yeah.
out.
I can't wait to. That looks actually really cool.
Yeah,
Co-op.
I'm not sure who the developer is on that.
Mhm.
July release date on that game. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. That might have been that really talky game that
Yeah, it looked
by
weird.
Don't Nod. And I was like, yeah, that's not for me.
Nope, neither.
Very talky, probably a lot of relationships, probably a
Disney
lot of
Interactive.
LGBT stuff and all that stuff. The whole Don't Nod thing. I like the Life is Strange for the most part. The first game was really good. I say really good, but it was interesting. It did fun stuff. Second one and that spin-off or whatever, that one with the
Oh, Disney Interactive did the fucking Zombie Ate My Neighbor remake.
who did?
Disney Interactive.
Remake? They did a port.
Port, yeah, and
They
Google
don't
Patrol, but
they
like
can
it was
put fucking emulators on a disc and sell it. I mean, I'm not impressed by that.
no. I was just looking at other things that Disney Interactive made, and all of a sudden, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Google Patrol popped up. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, good job porting a game from 30 years ago, guys. Proud of you.
Yeah. A good port.
I didn't play it. I don't know. It could be
I did.
great, could be shit. I have no idea. Professor Layton has a new game coming out on the Switch. I was never really into the Layton games. They're interesting. They just very simple puzzles. Little story involves a very chipper man, very proper British gents with his long top hat and his little sidekick. I think he had a daughter, and she had her own game. I think that was the last one that came out. They crossed over at Phoenix Wright and stuff. It was an interesting series. I played the first game. I didn't finish it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can totally count matches and See how the put this bridge back together. That's phenomenal. Yay. Uh, Fan-
Yeah.
Fantasy Fantasy's Life, the girl who steals time. I'm not sure exactly what this is.
It
I played the original Fantasy Life. It was kind of like Runes. What was that game? The Harvest Moon, but you kind of like went on adventures too. Rune
that's
Factory.
what it looks like. It looks like kind of uh almost Animal Crossing meets like actual fun because you can do cooking and beating up dragons and interacting with people versus like and the environment looks pretty big and
I'm not sure
the
what this game is. Is it like a remake of the first one with added stuff, or is it like a new take on it? I'm not exactly sure what they're doing with this game. The first one was on the 3DS.
it's a completely new entry.
I wonder what they're doing different.
Build your
Interesting.
own city and go on adventures with a new island. Explore the island with whatever life occupation suits you. Travel between the past, present, and unravel mysteries of the ruined forest. And proper characters from the team return.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
That's cute.
I'll give it a shot.
Looks good.
It's level 5, and I more or less am a fan of level 5 and what they do. They've had a few misses, but overall they're pretty high quality company.
Looks like Stardew Valley, but fun. No, I love Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I'm like, of all people to say that.
I know. Well, I meant like Stardew Valley with more stuff to do. And I know I have over. Oh God, how many? I want to look.
The last thing they mentioned on this page, I know there was other stuff on the direct because
Three hundred and eighty-one hours.
they were talking about that Bayonetta prequel that I have no interest in at all.
Nope.
They're talking about the Mario Kart 8 expansion pass. Now there's more courses coming,
Woo.
but there was totally more stuff in that direct. I don't know why they skipped a bunch of it. Like there was one that looked really cool. It was it's by the guys who made Danganronpa, and it looks like Danganronpa, but it's a different universe, I guess. It's like you're some teenage boy and you have like this big booby bitty ghost lady with you, and you solve murder mystery or some shit. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It looked really cool. And they didn't mention that at all. I should have vetted these lists before I
And I
fucking.
checked the other games too that they like on the next page, and it's just nothing really big. It's like Minecraft Legends, Mega Man Battle Network Collector's Edition.
Oh man, I don't understand Mega Man Battle Network. That game sucked and
You're
it had
okay.
like 18 fucking entries. That just the combat was stupid. Like the 3x3 grid. It's just dumb.
Yeah. I played them because I had nothing else to do, but if you're gonna play it at this point, you might as well go play Children of Eden. So,
They
which is a
got
better version of the game.
Octopath Traveler 2. It's getting a demo. I think that demo's already up. Octopath Traveler is a cool RPG. It's like Final Fantasy 6 on steroids. Very interesting art style. Has that voxel look to it. I think it was one who started the whole voxel look thing
Yeah,
that's
I think
popping up in a lot of games. But I'm not sure if it's 100% the first one, but it's definitely the what started the trend. Excuse me, I'm dying. Fire
yeah,
Emblem.
I'm fading.
Fire Emblem has another set of DLC characters coming out. It's a bunch of characters from previous games. They're adding more. They added one person who I had no idea who it was. Like, who the fuck is Veronica? There's no Veronica in Fire Emblem. What the fuck is that shit? It's from the mobile game. Who cares? But it has other characters coming in. It has your big booby Dragon Rider sister from what was that game called? It was called If in Japan. Fuck, Fates. Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track of all this shit. Sea of Stars has a demo out. That's that game, the 2D RPG. It looks a lot like something that come on the PlayStation. The name of Sea of Stars clearly invokes Star Ocean. So it got me interested just based on that. It looks really cool. It's coming out later though, like in August or something. So it has some time before here and then. Interesting as a demo now. They're releasing a Etrian Odyssey Origins collection, which is the first 4 games, I believe. I never really liked the Etrian Odyssey games. It had a goofy mechanic where it was a DS game. So you had to mark on the touchscreen the map. You had to draw it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a thing that I refer to as the Weeble meter, where I'm not the biggest I mean, I understand the irony based on my little video here if you're watching the video feed of this, but there's a certain much anime I can take before I just fucking zone the fuck out. when somebody like the chosen kid, it can suddenly fly in the air and fire fireballs, and his big titty neighbor girl is running after him. It's like, I love you. Like that's way past the needle point where I can handle it. It's like this is too much. Uh, and Entry to Odyssey went over that needle. It was just way too much anime for me to handle. And plus with that map thing, I just couldn't do it. But this new one,
Yeah.
it's releasing on everything, like it's Steam and all that shit too. So it's not a Nintendo exclusive thing. It has something they're calling auto mapping, which may actually interest me in playing because I do love first person dungeon crawler games like Shining in the Darkness, and um, there was another one that's super weeby that I liked a lot. It was the one by Atlas. It has like a witch and her little kid she bosses around and shit. You know, one of those games.
Oh, yep.
That actually has a sequel coming out. What the fuck is the name of that game? It's some stupid anime name. It's a Atlas game. Just look it up. This is actually an Atlas series too. Etrian Odyssey. Though I liked Etrian Odyssey. It was called Untold. It was on the 3DS, and my understanding, it's a remake of the first game, but with like a story. Like all the characters are named, and it's like more involved as opposed to just a generic team you make up. And that one I liked a lot. So I'm hoping these ports get me into it because first person dungeon crawling RPGs are not really as common as I'd like. Um, there was one made by Zen, the guys who make that pinball game. It's called Operencia, something around that namesake. And that game was really good too. I like that one. There was the one fucking blanking all these goddamn names.
It's also late.
Yeah, it's late as fuck. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Games that are like Shining in the Darkness. Good stuff. Let's see here. We got the Kirby's Return of Dreamland. We mentioned that offhand. It's a remake of a Wii game with an added segment with you play as a little dude who was in that game. Game Boy Game Advance game, you mentioned that. Metroid Prime came out. I watched. I didn't play the Metroid Prime remake, but I watched comparison videos, and it does look a lot better. And, like, I didn't like Metroid Prime. I don't like
I don't
first
like those
person
games.
platforming. I
They
love
make me
Metroid.
dizzy.
Yeah,
Exactly. The
but I
second that I heard there was a screwball aspect of it, I'm like, I'm fucking out. I just don't
yeah,
want to do that shit.
I've tried to play those games. I've started a new save 10 times. The furthest I ever got was with the Prime Hack, which is a custom built version of the Dolphin emulator that injects the keyboard and mouse as the control scheme, so it plays more like a traditional first-person shooter. I'm waiting for somebody to hopefully make a mod for the Switch version that does the same thing, because I'd really like to try this version, just because it just looks really cool, and I'd like to use keyboard and mouse in a way that makes sense. So hopefully somebody's working on that mod. That'd be wonderful.
Just don't want to
Uh,
go upside down in those games again.
Yeah. The third one, to my understanding, is a lot more of like an action-based first-person shooter because it was designed for the Wii, with the Wii remote. People call it like the Halo of the Wii.
Yep.
So I would like to try that, but
That'd be fun.
the first two games, no, not a fan. They keep calling these games the fucking complete list of everything that happened, and it didn't mention that fucking game again. Uh, Unless this is just a long ass list and it breaks it up in weird segments. Yeah, pre-remastered. It's in Alice in Wonderland. What the fuck is all this shit? What is all this shit? Ah, New World of Steam. I'm not sure what that is. What's that one? I'm sure if it was interesting, I would have remembered it.
Yeah, so I was like, "Ah."
Deca Police is the one I was thinking of.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, that game looks cool as hell. So if you like Danganronpa and you want to see what they're doing next, then there you go. I think that covers it. I don't know. I'm fucking done reading.
We hit everything. Yeah, I think I'm ready to pass out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well,
Well,
that's Nintendo. We did a quick one till quick one. We still did a buck and a half.
yeah. We'll chalk it up with the good ones.
Yeah, we enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun stuff looking over the Nintendo Direct. We'll be back on Saturday. I think we're maybe crack-a-lack a stream on Friday, if not sure, because it's Retro Friday. And yeah, thank
Wizardry.
you.
Wizardry was the game I was thinking of. Wizardry 8's a fucking phenomenal video game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That was the game I was trying to think of. But yeah.
So we will catch you all on Saturday. Thanks for watching our Nintendo Direct stream.
Yeah.
Peace.
The original goal was to do the actual live stream, but they aired it at 5 p.m. in our area,
Yeah.
which, is a fucking terrible time for A, trying to get people together because everybody's getting out of work, and B, getting people to actually watch it anyway. So, it didn't happen. But maybe next time when Nintendo pulls their heads out of their asses and releases things on a normal fucking time. Yeah, we'll see you next week, guys.
Exactly. See you guys Saturday. Peace.
Bye.